This is part 3 of the review of the invertebrates. We had been discussing the superphylum Lophotrochozoans, which includes the Platyhelminthes or flatworms, the Rotifera, the Nemertea or ribbon worms, the Mollusca, which includes the bivalves like clams, and the gastropods like snails, and then the cephalopods, which would be like a octopus and squid with the large heads. So the phylum Annelida is contains the earthworms and leeches. They are segmented worms. But something that I wanted to make sure that I told you that I didn't get to when we were talking about the Platyhelminthes is, I don't know if you can see this very well, but I reminded you that some Platyhelminthes are ectoparasites of fish. These Platyhelminthes are named monogeneans, and that is definitely a question that is on the on the quizzes. Okay, and then the Rotifera. What I wanted to mention to you about the Rotifera is that in their life cycle, they undergo a process called haplodiploidy. And it's very similar to the life cycle of insects like bees and ants that live in social groups. An unfertilized egg an egg that's released and it's unfertilized, that means it's haploid, develops into a male. A fertilized egg, which would be diploid, develops into a female. And that is haplodiploidy because the males are haploid and the females are diploid. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. Nope. We're going on and we're going to talk about the superphylum Ecdysozoans. I'm running out of paper, sorry. Okay, I think I can get it on here. The superphylum Ecdysozoans are the ones that have a cuticle or an outer covering that is shed periodically. And it's going to include the nematodes and the arthropods. And there's just a few, so they shed their cuticle periodically. The phylum Arthropoda and the phylum Nematoda are the two groups. They are both what we call protostomes, which means, so I'll put that over here. They are both protostomes, which means that their mouth develops first. They do have a coelom. Some of the Lophotrochozoans were protostomes also, but all of the Ecdysozoans are. So their mouth develops first before their anus, and they do have a true coelom. Let's see. In the phylum Nematoda, there is a question about one of the species, which is called, I actually know it as C. elegans, but the true genus name is Caenorhabditis. So that's Caenorhabditis elegans. And this species of roundworm, or C. elegans for short, has genes that are comparable to some human genes, especially the gene for insulin in C. elegans has been studied so that we can better understand the role of that insulin plays, and it's been very helpful in the development of medications and things like that for diabetes. So gene for insulin is similar to that of humans. And the reason this is significant is because it helps us to study insulin and its role in diabetes. All right, I think that's it. The only thing else is the only group that we have that we study that is a deuterostome. So deuterostomes have a body cavity, they have a coelom, but their anus develops before their mouth. And the only invertebrate that is a deuterostome is going to be the phylum Echinodermata. And in the Echinodermata, there is one question, and it asks about the fact that they can regenerate. You know, like a sea star can regenerate. You know, its arms, if it loses, if an arm or even more than one arm is cut off, they're capable of regeneration. Just give me a second. I'm sorry. I had written down the name. Hold on. Okay, the specific question that is on the quiz that I want you to make sure you know is that the name for a sea star is Asteroidea. For obvious reasons, it has 5 arms. But all of the echinoderms as adults have pentaradial symmetry. This means they have 5-way symmetry, and it's easy to see that with the Asteroidea or sea stars, but another group of echinoderms are called Holothuroidea. And these are known as sea cucumbers, and they also have that characteristic of being able to regenerate, and they have the characteristic of pentaradial symmetry.